On my radio show, when I talk about disability, these huge disability claims in America, the phone lines light up. Everybody has a story. I have a guy who is the senior watchdog for the Washington Examiner, Luke Rosiak, who has written about this. And more importantly, Luke, you've taken these reams of these surveys that were done by the Social Security Administration about who's on disability. Luke, tell us about the profile of these people on SSI and SSDI.
Well, there's two types of disability, as you mentioned. SSDI is for people who have worked for at least a few years and paid a little bit into Social Security. SSI is people who have really never done a thing in their lives except collect government checks. The Social Security Administration for a while was looking at trying to get some of these people to work. So they asked them some questions that really went unnoticed until I did a story on it yesterday in the Washington Examiner about their desires to work and what was exactly driving them to be on disability. And a whole bunch of them admitted that they were not disabled at all. The reason they were on disability was because they couldn't find a job. But the interesting thing there is they said, well, they hadn't even looked for a job. And a lot of these people, 40% of them don't even have a GED. So they say the reason I can't get a job is because I don't have skills to compete in the modern economy. But then the follow-up questions that they were asked were, so we're offering you, subsidized schooling, job training, and things like that. Are you doing anything to improve your skills? And they said no. So these people were very honest with the Social Security Administration in this confidential survey and said, look, we're pretty happy where we are. We could work, but we don't want to, and we don't want to improve our skills. For the ones that did say they had medical problems, they said that they hadn't visited the doctor in the last year and that almost none of them had received any medical treatment to improve their physical condition. So here they are saying, well, the reason we can't work is because we have this problem, but we don't want to do anything about our physical problem.
Hey, Luke, well, that is just amazing, the statistics, the information that you've gotten here. And some counties in America, it is close to a third of the people in places in Kentucky, et cetera, right, that are engaged in this. And when you get that, it's just devastating, the work ethic, the whole community.
Right. I mean, in Appalachia and parts of Kentucky, it's 1/3. And these are people that are collecting $1,000 a month or more for life. They can literally go on it because, again, I mean, this is very different than workers' comp where someone was injured on the job and they probably had worked for, a decade or more before that occurred. I mean, these are injuries that had nothing to do with jobs in many cases. A lot of times the person had never had a job. So these are people who are going on the dole in their 20s or early 30s, and they're staying there for life. And in certain communities, as word has spread about this program, I mean, you can just witness it spread virally. Someone is, you're in your neighborhood, and someone has all this money all of a sudden, and you ask, where did they get it? And they tell their friends and the relatives, oh, I got it from this program.
Hey, Luke, I think it's a career path. That's what my listeners have said. This has become kind of a career path rather than college or graduation, credentials, and all that. It's literally a career path for some folks.
Right, and when you're petitioning to be declared disabled, the biggest factor is not even the severity of your injury. It's could you get a job based on your skills. So, in other words, if you're obese and you have some mobility problems, a judge is going to say you're not disabled if you have a college degree because you can just get an office job and work at your computer.
So the lower you are, and if you are obese, you can't work then.
Right, because the thinking is, you'd have to be doing a factory job, and they consult this book that was literally made in the 1970s that lists the different jobs.
Wait a minute, what's the book that they consult? Tell me what that is.
It lists jobs in each metropolitan area that are available. So this was made in the 70s when, computer programmer, things like that wouldn't even have been a job, and even low-skilled jobs.
Do you know the name of the book, though, Luke? I'd love to get that and use that on the air.
I don't know the name of the book. I don't know that the public can even access it. And the Social
I'll get
Security.
It. But Luke, you're right. This is antiquated. It's corrosive, and you've done a great job. I'm sure there'll be more follow-up to getting to the bottom of this. Thanks. I'm very, very glad that we're able to get you on here, the Steve Malzberg Show today. Continued luck with this, too, as you parse it out. Luke Rosiak, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Tom.
All right, that's the guy from the Watchdog from the Washington Examiner. And I'll find out what that book is that they're consulting. and why people feel they can't work, don't want to work. They have a medical problem, yet they haven't seen a doctor within a year. They haven't looked for